this is Mia from Mimo Design Laser Files. I just finished the assembling tutorial on my Fairylight Fairylight ornaments, and I'm now going to show you how to assemble the Countdown version. So when you get the files, it will contain a backer, either with a hanger or for magnets. Also, it will contain a engraved wheel or a scored version. So the wheel will have this inner piece that you don't want to get rid of, but what's important is that you sand your wheel on both sides nice and smooth. Also, you could sand the backer and also the back side of the fronts. If you sand, it will be smoother and the gliding should be easier. The files will also contain a front for painting and a pattern. So in this tutorial it's the arabesque pattern, but I will have others. So this is kind of a generic assembling tutorial that will cover all of my ornaments this way. Also, it includes a layered countdown to Christmas text. You can use it or you can not use it, that's up to you. And this version has a snowflake to add on top of the lever. So assembling is really easy. As said, you want to sand or at least make your wheel smooth, because you actually want to see if you can take off just a tiny bit of material compared to this inner round. I'm using a staple gun. This one is from my local hardware shop in Sicily, but I will link for one similar to this one on Amazon. Also, I know that some people use 3M pads like these. These are a little thick, so they'll also create a little additional height once this is glued together. You could also take a piece of cardboard or thin plastic or something else, or you could choose to cut this inner round from material that is just a tiny bit thicker than what you're cutting the wheel from. But using the stapler is my go-to method and what I really prefer. So my engraved version did come out very light, so I actually filled it with, this is oil from Novecento, so I could kind of darken the engravings, but it did darken this a lot, so the numbers aren't that visible, unfortunately, but I'll rather make you the tutorial and think about my engraving the next time. But engraved version, scored version. So to assemble, it's pretty easy. Once you've painted and added glitter or whatever you want, you take your back. I already made a painting tutorial on how I made these, so you can find it up here, and it's already on my YouTube channel. But back to assembling. So you take your backer and you place your wheel, then you take this inner round, and if you're using glue, you will glue it down. Be careful that you don't get glue onto the wheel itself, because then it will be stuck. Since I'm using staples, I'll just staple mine. So you might see how my staples will lift the front just a tiny bit, because some of them didn't pierce all the way down and some of them will just create a little distance. This is perfect for my ornaments and I've made a lot of them, so this is really what I recommend. Once you've stapled your wheel or the round, you take some glue. I'll use wood glue on top of the staples at least. Because if I just I'll use super glue as well just to make it dry even faster. But if I just use super glue, it would not glue down the staples very well. But I'll add a few drops of super glue just to make it dry faster. And you then take your front. Let's see, that was the brown version. And you align this hole to the hanger, if you're using the hanger version. And I will clamp this one down. So I'll just grab my box of clamps. So let's just wait for this to dry. And you could have glued this on top before assembling the ornament, but I prefer to do that afterwards just because I don't want my clamps to squeeze anything. So for the magnet version, it's the exact same method. You place the wheel, take your round. If you're gluing, use glue. If you're using a stapler, staple. Then you add some wood glue, if that's what you're using, like this. And again, I'll just add a few drops of my super glue. And I can't say this enough, don't get glue on the wheel, because then you'll be stuck. Since I don't have a hanger on this one, it's not important how I align it, as long as it's aligned with the edges. So once it is, you take some clamps again. And you can use any type of clamp. Just for fun's sake, I'll add a few different ones on this one. And then you just wait for it to dry. So I think that the first one here is dry. Let's see. Once your spinner or countdown is dry, you take off your clamps and you make sure that your wheel is sliding or running. Mine is. And I can now finish off this ornament. So I'll add the front. I'll just use super glue. Usually I would probably take my wood glue and kind of paint the backside with glue. But I'll just do like this for that one. If you hear someone in the back, it's my toddler. So now you want to make really sure that you're aligning with the hole, so you can see the numbers inside. So mine is aligned here, and I'll just hold it down for a few seconds. And that's it. And for the lever, you want to take your snowflake. I'll just add a few drops again. And this is also important because you want to keep just a tiny bit of distance from the wheel and to this layered snowflake. Because otherwise, if you glued it just a little bit off, you might not be able to have it slide all the way around. But mine is perfect. Once you get a string inside it, you can't move it around the string, but you can move it the opposite direction. So once you've reached one, you'll just rewind it and you can start over next year. So for this one, I want to add my text. So I'll just add a few drops of glue here and there and hope that I'll catch my pattern somehow. You could also layer with a name or something else. And I actually had a member of my Facebook helping group who asked about some designs for these lightning ornaments. So this is something that you could do as well. You could make some text of some sort, make an outline, and then you could add it to these ornaments. Or you could maybe add a little Christmas tree or something else. It's only your imagination that sets the boundaries. So this one is done and ready to be stringed. I think this one will be dry as well. So, and again, because I don't have any hanger on this one, there's not really anything to worry about, and you can slide it all the way around. So for this one, I'll also glue the front on top. And again, if you hear some noise in the back, it's my 3-year-old. He's playing on his trampoline right now. So this one, you also want to make sure that you align with the hole, with the number. Like that. And you then have the snowflake. So while I hold this, I could just add a few drops of glue. And see if I can flip it over without gluing my fingers. Oops. And as said, you want a little distance between the layered snowflake and the wheel. So I'll place it just a tiny bit up. And that's it. So this one is for magnets. So one easy way to add those is with the 3M pads that I told you about before, because you then just flip it over and you remove the tape, attach it to your ornament, remove the tape, place the magnet, and see my stapler here. This might not be on. I think this one is. Oops. So there you go. So this one is now magnetic, and you could place it on your fridge or something else, and you could count down from there. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I have a lot more files where these came from and ideas for new files, and they can all be found in my Etsy shop and allstarsdesign.com. Both are called Mimo Design Laser Files, and the link is in the description of this video as well as in my bio. Thank you so much for watching.